Hello and welcome back to my channel, Sammy's Witchcrafts. So, I read all my comments and lots of people were quite intrigued in what tea bag folding's all about. So in today's craft I'm going to be doing tea bag folding. But this craft is new to me, so what I've made it's the first thing I've ever made. So when I make another one, it will be the second time I've made it. But I've really enjoyed it. But the question is, what is tea bag folding? It is a form of origami paper folding. And no, tea bags are not used. But I was a little intrigued in why is it called tea bag folding? So I went on the old internet, as you do. It originally gets its name from the wrappings from the tea bags. So that's why it's called tea bag folding, because they use, not obviously you use prettier ones than this one, because some of the tea bags that you get that are like this come in some really pretty paper, and that's what they used. So they used to fold the tea, they wouldn't throw them away, they'd fold the paper into all different patterns, and they're beautiful. If you go on the internet and type in tea bag folding, there's so much on there. But I was watching this lady, can't remember her name, but I will put her name down in the description below. And all I know is it's Sam. Great name. I can't remember her second name, but I'll put it in the description below. And she was making this one, and I thought, that's for a beginner. I quite like the idea of that one, so I thought that's quite easy for me to make. So what do we need to make this tea bag folding? Well, first of all, you can do it in just plain paper, and I will demonstrate it in a piece of plain paper first off. This is origami paper. It's a little bit on the thin side for making this. It's a little bit thicker paper, not so much card, but a little bit thicker paper works better. But you can still use paper. You haven't got to go out and buy all this expensive paper, which I don't go out and buy expensive paper anyway. I either buy it from charity shops or I go and buy it from the cheap shops. And what the paper I'm going to be using, I got from a company when I went shopping in Norfolk called The Works. And they sell these great big 12 by 12, I think they are. The nice thing about this paper is I like to do it two-tone. So one side will show one pattern, which is going to be this side. And then on the other side, it's got a different pattern. And if you look at that there, this pattern here, I've got a little bit square piece left. On one side it was these lovely feathers, and then on the other side that I've just dropped, it's just a plain colour. I got this one off of Amazon, I think, but I got this one out the Works. This is the book I'm going to be using today. This is the, well, you can see that I've cut my shapes out already, my circles, because that's what we need for this pattern. So we've got my paper. Then we need to have 8 circles cut out. Now you can either cut them out by hand using a pair of scissors. If you've got a die cutting machine and you've got circles, you can use the die cutter to cut them out. or if you've got one of these, which is a big hole punch. And the size I'm going to be using is a 2-inch hole punch. So then my circles will be 2 inches. They haven't got to be that size. When you use that size, that's the size it will come out. So if they're smaller circles, it'll be a smaller pattern. And if you use a bigger circle, it'll be slightly bigger. So it'll all be different. But for a 2-inch circle, you'll get this size here. So yes, so I need 8 circles. I've got 7 cut already, but I need to just cut one more out, but I'll do that in a moment. You need a hole punch if you've got one to cut your circles out. If not, or you can even use like a compass. Get like measure it out to 2 inches and then just draw and then cut them out. And we also need some glue. So I've got my glue in, I think they're called a needle point glue bottle, I think. But I use this for quilling. I use this quite a lot. So very, very handy. And with using, the reason why I use this one and nothing bigger is because when you glue the sides down, it just lets out a small amount of glue rather than going too splodgy all over the paper. But like I said, you only need the smallest amount of glue for this. So I'm going to set up and show you how to do some tea bag folding. See you in a minute. So I've got my circles cut out. I've got 7 cut out already. I've just got one more to cut out. But before I do that, I just want to demonstrate on another piece of paper first, or a circle first, in what we do to fold it into this shape. So then you make up 8 of these with your circles, which then you put them together, which then makes this beautiful pattern. So what I've done is I've cut out a circle and I've just marked it, so then I can show you where you fold before we go straight into folding these ones. So how do we get this to this? So first thing we do is we fold our circle so we've got a cross. Then we lay it down, and then where this quarter is here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold or bend to the point of the line that's drawn there, and then on the same on the other side. So this can be a little bit fiddly, and because this is quite thick paper, it is quite hard to fold, but I'm only using this piece of card just to demonstrate. So I've folded my first fold, which is this piece here, and I turn it, and then I'm going to fold the other side. Fold into the where the crease is, but I've put a line there. That's where we need to fold to. So now we've got our bottom half of our circle folded. But what we do is we then turn it over, and then the straight edge here, we bend that and fold that into the middle crease of the circle. And then we do the same on the other side. So we just bend it. Like I said, this is a little bit too thick, this card, but I just wanted to show you with the lines. So then you should have this piece in the middle. Now, it took me a couple of goes to meet. As long as you get the crease and it to that point, it should line up nicely. But have a little practice before you go straight into making your card, because it took me a couple of attempts because I kept having one side longer than the other. So that is what we're going to be making. We're going to be making 8 of these. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to do another demonstration, but I'm going to be just using it on a plain piece of yellow paper. So without any lines this time, but I'll still have that handy. Fold your circle in half, undo, and then fold it again in half the opposite direction, so it makes a cross on your piece of paper. You could just about see it. When you use your double like sided coloured paper, where if it's different on each, I'll show you in what you have to do, because I had to work it out in what way do I lay it, but we'll come to that in a minute. But at the moment we're just doing the yellow circle. So where this quarter is here, where it's got the creases at the end, I'm going to be folding this edge here so it folds on those up to those creases on the edge. So because this is thinner paper, it's slightly easier. So it doesn't matter what side you use, either use this side or that side. Then fold up to those creases again, getting as close as you can. And then you should have something that looks like that. Now we turn it over, so then the bits that you've just folded are now underneath. And where the straight edge is here, you're going to lift that up and we're going to bend that into the middle where that crease is. So I just guide it slowly, making sure that it's lining up nicely, and then we just push down and make a crease. Then get the opposite flat edge and do the same and bring that into the middle, lining those points, if you can see in the middle there. And there we have one of the circles folded to make this pattern, which would fit in nicely like that. So once I've folded all my pieces, you don't have to, but I like to because it keeps it all nice and flat on the card, even though that one is sticking up there. That's because I haven't glued that bit down, but I'll correct that in a minute. So getting your glue, you lift up where you've folded, open that up, and then this section here, just put a small amount of glue. Now this is why I like these glue bottles, because you can squeeze a little bit of glue out and then you just get the top or the nib and just spread it around, and then just lay that back down. When I was making that card, I wasn't concentrating properly, and I thought, right, I've got to glue that, and I pulled that side up, and then I glued there, realizing I'd glued the wrong part. So open it up, and then just put a small amount of glue in the middle, or on the back I should say. Don't need a lot of glue at all. If it seems to be a little bit too dry, then just add a little bit more glue, and then you just press it down and then let them dry. And there we have it. So like you could make all different, you could do like a whole selection of different colours. I might have to make that. That might look quite sweet actually. So now we're going to come on to making the ones that have got a pattern on them, both sides. So now I need to cut out another circle. So now I'm going to fold. I've done the other 7. I need to do one more. Now when you're folding the paper or the card with the 2 different coloured sides, the side that you want to show in the middle, you turn over, so then you're folding onto this pattern side here. And if you're using a pattern that goes all one way, just try and remember to fold them all the same pattern, running the same way. So I'm going to fold in half, I did find with this card it was a little bit difficult, so next time I make this I won't use such a thick card, but it's all that I had. So I got there in the end, but it was just a little bit more tricky than it was when I did the folding it with just the thin paper. So I've made my cross, and because I want the heart to be in the middle, just check, and so it laying this way down, so I know to fold these 2 bottom ones here. So I don't know if you can see, but my creases are there. So having to very gently like roll the card, because it's so thick, it's sort of like roll it a little bit before I then put the bend in it. And turn to make sure that I'm still facing the wrong way, because if I fold that corner I will be then doing it upside down. So going to be doing this corner. Just slowly pushing that to where I want it to go, and then when I'm happy, then I'll push down and make a crease into the card. So now I then turn it over, and then the flat edges I then roll it into the middle. Now I say roll, it's because where the card is so thick, I need to just sort of roll it into place, where if it's a little bit thinner you just fold it, but I needed to sort of roll it in. So that's one side, and then make that in the middle, push down, and then make a crease. Then I'm going to now glue the inside so they then stick and lay flat. Push that down, holding it, give it time to stick. Then do the other side. I need a little bit more glue than I did with the other paper, just because the card is, like I said, a little bit thicker than the paper was. So there I have now folded 8 circles. Right, so for this next part, I'm going to just glue that down because it's going to keep sticking up. Just hold it there for a couple of seconds, rub it, and there we go, it's stuck down now. Now to make this stay all in one place, we cut out an extra circle. And what we do is we fold it in half. We're making that cross again in the middle of the circle. So then, so I know where the middle is, I'm just going to put a little hole just so I know that that's where the middle is. So what we do now is we get one of our shapes. Now I'll show you on here. If I turn this over, there's the cross there. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be just gluing this section, not up here, just this section onto that circle. So it's a little bit difficult to see it on here, but I can just about see it across there. So I put my thumb. If you're a little bit unsure, just put it into the middle of the circle like that, and put your thumb so you know that where your thumb is, you know you can't go beyond that. And then we just glue. Then we get our circle again. And where you've got your cross, this edge here, I'm going to line it up with this point to the middle, and then the edge to that line, that crease. And that's our first one done. So then I can see the line now, so underneath my thumb, I line that up into that next part. And we do this all the way round. So where my line is there, I can see that quite clearly on this one. Don't know if you can see it. And I'll just line that up. That one before needs just going over just a little bit. That's better. So I've just stuck that one down. So this is the second time in making something like this, so I'm quite pleased with myself. It's not perfect, but I know how to make it now, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more that I'm going to be making. So just put that into the middle. So last two. And last one. Making sure you push that into the middle. So now with these bits that are sticking up, I lay one down and then put one above it, then lay the other one next to it underneath it, so then it's alternate. Put them underneath. That one's on top, that one's underneath. And there we go. I've got a few gaps, but like I say, this is the second time I've made it, so I don't think I've pushed them in far enough in some places. But that's something that I'm sure I'll get better as I do them more. So that is tea bag folding. So what I'm going to go and do now is I'm going to go and get another piece of card, and I'll make this into a card. But before I do go, one thing I always do is, if I ever have any scrap pieces of card like this, I never throw them away. I throw bits away, but if I've got like a section like this, what I do is I have another hole punch of a butterfly here. Rather than wasting paper. I cut them out using the cut-offs that I've just cut off, so then I'm not really wasting any paper. These are brilliant. These are so sharp. I think they're the same make as my cutting board here. I can't remember the name of it. All I know is it's X. This is a self-healing mat. It's got a black side and a white side. I think they've got different measurements, but you can get them in different sizes. But this company is brilliant. I'm not sponsored in any way. I've bought these. I've had these for years. These cutters and these cutting mats. But they're self-healing, which is brilliant. So what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to go and find some more cards, stick that on and show you what my card looks like at the end. So there we have it. I added one of my new stamps. I cut out this section here, and these are the little butterflies that I used with the spare bit of paper that I had left over. And then I added a little pearl in the middle there, just to finish and hide that middle bit up because it was a little bit untidy. And I did that same with that one as well. So yeah, that is tea bag folding. Like I said, there's lots and lots and lots of different ways of folding this paper to do this craft. And I'm going to have a little look into doing some more. But I just thought I'd show you this one because it was so sweet. And I thought it was quite easy to do as well. So what do you think of that then? Did you enjoy that tea bag folding? So anyone out there whose partner was like, oh no, the tea bags, it's nothing to do with actual tea bags, it's the wrapping that they used to use. Rather than throwing it away, I suppose, it was pretty paper. But it's so cute. And it's a lovely little card that you could make for somebody. So put in the comments below what you thought about this little craft. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, give a thumbs up, and share if you can, if you know how to do it, because I don't. But I appreciate that some of you have been sharing, and oh, it's wonderful. And the comments, that is always amazing, amazing. And I'm really enjoying people sending me photographs in my email of the things that they've made. It's just lovely. So if you have made something that I've shown on my channel, the email's below, and I'll get back to you. Sammy, which crafts are we gonna do next? Put in the comments below if there's anything that you would like me to show. I know a couple of you have asked me to do knitting, but I've tried knitting and I cannot do it. I can start off and I can knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one. I can make a scarf. But my mum can knit beautiful. The things she's made. I mean, she knitted me a gruffalo. I mean, look at that. And she's tried to teach me time and time and time again. And I just can't get it, can I, Mum? I just cannot get it. My problem is I drop too many stitches. Where in crocheting, you don't tend to drop stitches. But yeah, my mum knitted me this. Oh, he's just so cute. So he sits up there looking after everybody. So put in the comments below and what you if there's anything else. I would like to try and do some showing the die cutting machine that I've got. The printing that I've just started getting, I'm loving that. I'm really, it just changes the look of the card so much, I think, because you can then add colour, because I've got different colours that I bought from Timu the other week, and yeah, I've got all these different colours, which is really, really handy, because then I can sort of like a bit of a colour coordination there, rather than keep using black on all the time. You know, it gets a little bit, where I like to use a little bit of colour. But there's paper cutting that I'd like to show. I would like to show book folding, but with book folding, that does take a little bit of time, and it's not a quick craft. I will be doing one, but it won't be just of yet, because I haven't done it for such a long time either. So yeah, just put in the comments below. Anyway, I'm going to go because I'm waffling on again, as I always do. But I hope you enjoyed that tea bag folding, and I'll keep my eye out for some more other patterns, and then maybe I can do another one on here. I'm just looking around my room in what other crafts that I can do. I've got so many. As you know, we've done the quilling, we've done the needle felting, we've now done tea bag folding, done the crocheting, did I say diamond painting? I can't remember. Yeah, we've done the Zen drawing. I'll be doing some more of that, because I've been doing that because I'm going to be making a little book up, aren't I? So I might actually do a video on cutting it out and putting, maybe do a little Zen drawing and then cut it out and put it in my book that Mazzy from Mazzy X bought me. Yeah, I'd like to show the paper cutting as well, because that's quite interesting. See, there I go. I'm waffling on. So I'm going to go. Well, you all take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.